Hi everybody. Have you ever been in circumstances or situations where it seemed overwhelming? Where life was to such a point where you really wondered if God was real? If he was really there? I have, and I want to share an experience with you that happened to me as a young Christian. My husband was 40 years old and I was 34, and we had two young children, and he had a heart attack. And he went into hospital, and in the process of doing tests, they decided he needed a quadruple bypass. Now, we had booked a trip to Britain, and he would be in the hospital. So we changed the date of our holiday and decided to go 3 months' time. That would be well enough ahead. And he went ahead with the operation, and he was through it fine. He had a few problems, so he stayed in the hospital longer than usual. But he was due to come home, and I was sitting in my prayer room, and I was discouraged. I was hopeless. We were so young, and I thought, how are we going to go away on holiday? When he comes home, he'll be on blood thinners, has to be tested twice a week, and he wouldn't be able to drive. I would have to do the driving. I'd never driven in Britain. There were so many unknowns. I felt vulnerable. I was scared. I really felt it was impossible. But he really wanted the trip. And I cried out to God, and I said, God, right now, I feel hopeless. I have nowhere to turn. I don't know what to do. I need you to make yourself real to me. Instantly, I was in another place. I could feel the stones under my feet. I could see a lake. I was walking with my arm through the arm of Jesus, and I could feel his rough texture of his clothing. Every sense was alive. I could hear the wind in the trees. I could hear the birds singing. I could hear the noise of the lake, the little waves. And I could smell all the bushes, and I could feel the sun on my back. And I looked into Jesus' eyes, and he just looked into mine with blue eyes. And I felt such a peace, such a presence, and a knowledge that everything was okay. And we just walked along. And then suddenly the scene changed, and it was nighttime, and it was dark, and there was cold on my back, and I was sitting at one side of a little campfire on a log, and he was sitting the other side looking into my eyes, and I could hear the flames and the wood crackling. I could see the sparks flying. I could smell the wood smoke and the bushes and the lake, and I could hear insects. Every sense was alive to everything that was happening. And Jesus didn't say a word. He just looked at me. And again, I felt such a peace of a knowledge that he was there, that he was real. He was real. I touched him. I felt him. He was real. And then all of a sudden, I was back in my room. And I just sat there for a while, astounded, amazed. I can't even explain how I felt. I did not understand. And I said, God, why did you do that? And he said, because I wanted you to know that I was a real man, that I lived on this earth, just as you are a real woman, and that what I did, you can do also. And that was it. And that gave me such incredible hope. It was so exciting, so real. The fact that I had been there with him. There was no doubt in my mind that he was real, he was present, and he was well able to do whatever was needed. And he had given me the ability to do the same. And we went on the trip. My husband came home. Just over 2 months later, we went to England. And I drove the car through the narrow roads in the Lake District. We went to Wales, North Wales. We climbed Crib Goch. It was one thing my husband was determined to do. And I honestly thought I would not make it because it's 1,500 feet high. And it's straight up and then along a little ridge for a couple of miles before you come down. It's very strenuous, I must say, and we made it to the top and we made it back down, and we were all feeling our muscles aching the following day, but we did it. And I look back now and I am astounded, because really that should not have been possible, but it was. And I knew every time I was concerned about my husband, how he was doing, I knew that God was there, that he was helping us, that I had nothing to fear. And that trip was incredible. And that, not only do I still remember that, it changed my life, because it made Jesus real in a way that I would never have known otherwise. And I want to tell you that he can be real for you. He will give you what you need when you're in that place where it's overwhelming, you don't know what to do. Ask him to make himself real to you in that place, and he will. He will give you what you need. And it doesn't matter who you are, young or old, or how long you've been a Christian. We are all able to do what he did if we surrender to him. Our lives, our thinking, our beliefs, our knowledge and our agendas, then he will work through us to do all the things he did while he was alive. And I have laid hands on people and they've been healed. Not all of them. I've done deliverance on people. But there's so much more to do. And I have been a Christian for a long time now. At the point where that happened, I had only been a Christian. I'd only been born again for a few years. And yet he showed up in my life. So for any of you out there that are feeling that you need that touch, go to him. He is there for you. He will give you what you need. He is real. There is absolutely no doubt he is real, and he is there with you. And he will be who you need him to be. And he will work in your life and through your life to help other people in the same way. I want to leave you with that. And I pray that that blesses you, that encourages you. And I would love to see comments if you have had experiences like this. I'd love to hear about them. So I'm going to see you next week. Bye for now.